Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the second day of the 2020 Sistan Wapanayati General Council meeting. We'll ask Old Agency Tribal Council member Milton Owen to offer the opening prayer.
Let us pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you today, Lord, with thanksgiving in our hearts for all that you do for us. We thank you for this beautiful day that you've given us, Lord, to come together here as a General Council, Lord, and to hear the reports that are to be brought forward today. And Lord, we just ask that you be with all those that are listening on the radios or whatever, wherever they might be listening. We thank you for our elders, Lord. We thank you for watching over them, keeping them safe. Be with those in the hospitals, the nursing homes, Lord. We just ask for healing for each and every one. And Lord, as this coronavirus spreads throughout our country, throughout our reservation, we ask for your protection. We ask that you stop the virus, Lord, because, Lord, you are the ultimate healer. You are the one that allows things to happen in this world. You're the one that gives us health, protects us from all evil. So we thank you, Lord, and today, Lord, as we go through this General Council meeting, be with those that are bringing the reports today, Lord, and just watch over each and every one. We thank you, Lord. We praise you for all that you do for us. And again, we ask your blessing upon this meeting. In Jesus' name, amen.
Hey, once again, good morning, everybody. Today's agenda starts, well, actually, first let me start with thanking our drum group, Red Storm, for offering their songs. And also thanks to American Legion, Post 314, Woodrow Wilson Keeble Honor Guard for presenting the colors today. First on the agenda today is Dakota Nation Gaming Enterprise, which will be presented by DNGE CFO Weston Quinn.
Good morning, Council. Good morning, tribal membership that's currently watching this video or this live feed. My CEO couldn't make it today, so I'll go over his report later. He had prior family obligations. So I'm going to present what we have in our General Council report for fiscal year 2019. We do have hard copies here at Council or at the tribe here for you guys, and we have some that are available for tribal membership if you want to come to the tribal office building. So I'm just going to get started. There's certain things I can and can't talk about, especially if this video is going to be over the internet. So I'm just going to be kind of general on some things, specifically about revenues and gross revenues and net income. But there is other things I can talk about. So I'll just get started. So if you want to open up to your booklet to the first page, I'm going to start talking about tribal distributions from Dakota Nation Gaming Enterprises. So in years past, from prior to 2005, we've always had a fluctuating tribal distributions based upon what was ever in our account. In 2015 or 2005, we did go to a flat rate, and that flat rate was at $12 million for the first 3 years from 2007 to 2005. From there, we did grow from 2008 to 2011. We jumped our distributions to $15 million. In 2012, we jumped it to $17 million. In 2013, we did jump it to $24 million. And then that leads us to the 2014 to 2019, and we're currently at $26 million that Dakota Nation distributes back to the tribe. However, just looking forward, the 2020 year, because of the COVID-19, these numbers that we're showing right now are probably not sustainable in the future, just because of customer habits and things like that. So it's something that we'll have to to look at. And in my CEO's report, Mr. Robert Mudds, he does touch on that subject. But moving to the next page, for our fiscal year 2019 contributions report, I'll kind of go over the numbers, but I'll start rounding the numbers instead of giving specific ones. So for the first section of this, I'm talking about district days. District days is what we give to the tribal membership once a year. So for this year, we did give out $100 to our tribal membership, and we did have it at 2 different locations, one at Dakota Magic, one at Dakota Su. The casino's portion for Dakota Magic was $419,000. At Dakota Su was $128,000 for a total of $546,000. The district have an option of matching or exceeding our dollar amount, and a lot of them did exceed our $100 per tribal membership. So the district's portion for Dakota Magic was $828,000. Dakota Su's was $385,000 for, and the total for districts was $1.2 million. In total, we gave out $1.7 million to the tribal membership for the 2019 year. Moving on to taxes, we have various taxes for various items. For example, our hotel tax is sitting at 8%. Dakota Magic did $141,000. Dakota Su contributed $64,000 for a total of $205,000. Tourism tax is at a 4%, which basically just covers our RV parks. Because of the low volume, it was pretty insignificant. Our tourism tax dollars in total was $515. Liquor tax, we're sitting at 20%. For Dakota Magic, we contributed $358,000. Dakota Su contributed $98,000, and Dakota Connection contributed $56,000 for a total of $513,000. Meal tax, we're sitting at 5%. Dakota Magic did $87,000, Dakota Su did $16,000, and Connection did $31,000 for a total of $135,000 for meal tax. And tribal sales tax is at 5.5%. So Magic did $244,000, Dakota Su did $26,000, Dakota Connection did $48,000 for a total of almost $319,000. Cigarette tax. In my report, I do have here not available because we have a tax agreement with South Dakota. So for Dakota Su and Dakota Connection, I wasn't able to retain them numbers or obtain them numbers because that tax is given directly to the state, and I don't have that report. However, Dakota Magic doesn't have a tax agreement with North Dakota as of yet, so I was able to obtain this report, and Dakota Magic gave out $984,000 in cigarette tax to the tribe. Again, the next section is talking about the South Dakota state tax. So Dakota Su did $25,000 to the states. Dakota Connection did almost $19,000 for a total of $44,000. So in total, the total taxes that we gave for Dakota Magic is $1.8 million. For Dakota Su, the total tax was almost $232,000, and Dakota Connection was $155,000 for a total of $2.2 million that was given out in taxes of various forms. The next section, we do have miscellaneous expenses, and I only have 2. One is for elderly days. Elderly days is always done at Dakota Magic. We have done it 4 times a year. And for the 2019 year, we gave out $871,000 for tribal elderly that did attend that event. Gas discounts, we give a 10% discount to our tribal membership if they go into the C-stores and present a card, their tribal identification card. And so for Dakota Magic, $1,500 was given out in gas discounts. Dakota Su was almost $1,400 in discounts, and Dakota Connections $4,700 for a total of $7,600 in gas discounts. In grand total, for district days, taxes, and miscellaneous expenses, Dakota Magic gave out almost $4 million worth of various expenses. Dakota Su gave out $747,000, and Dakota Connection gave out $160,000 for a total of $4.8 million in various taxes and district days and miscellaneous expenses. Moving on to the next section,
Oh, Weston, can I just clarify on the gas discount? What did you say it was?
10%.
10% or 10 cents, 10 cents a gallon?
10 cents a gallon.
Okay, so just so we clarify that. Thank you.
We did have, just to let tribal membership know and anybody watching this, we did have various forms of this gas discount, but because of the gas prices falling, we're at a 10% discount instead of a percentage like we used to be in the past. So moving on, the next report is the Dakota Nation Gaming Enterprises fiscal year 2019 net income percentages. is 100.4 Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius or more, they will be logged and the employee will be sent home and advised to contact their healthcare provider. The employee will not be allowed to return to work until the doctor's note is provided, but that the employee stating they are able to return to work. Personal protective equipment, or PPE, appropriate PPE is required and will be worn by all employees. Training on how to properly use and dispose of all PPE will be mandatory. Every employee entering the casino will be provided a mask and required to wear that mask while on property. Gloves will be provided to the employee whose responsibilities require them as determined. For example, housekeeping, public area attendants, and security officers in direct contact with guests. Employee smoking. There will be no employee smoking inside the building, including the smoking employee dining room. There are designated smoking areas outside. Employees must dispose of their cigarette butts. Failure to do so results in an outside smoking area being off limits to all employees. Employee responsibilities. DNGE employees are vital to the effective health and sanitation program. Employees will be reminded to not touch their face and to practice social distancing by standing at least 6 feet away from their guests and other employees when possible. Repercussions. If an employee does not follow these guidelines that are established, disciplinary action may be warranted. Additionally, DNGE put up plexiglass between slot machines and on the counters, that is between the customer and the employees. Table games, poker, bingo, and the buffet were all kept closed due to the close proximity and the use of common items that could potentially spread the virus. Before DNG shut down, due to COVID-19, the customer count and revenue continued to decline in the buffets. The decision to permanently close the buffet was difficult to make for the employees, but it was a decision that needed to be made in order to move forward with the more profitable establishment. Dakota Magic Casino is in the final stages of beginning sports betting on property. We are confident the new betting platform will be a popular attraction. Sports betting should be up and running in the start of September 2020. At the time this report was printed, we were hoping for an August start date. However, my continued discussions with IGT, who's going to be our sports betting provider, we're shooting for a September 2020 date. This was a collaborative effort amongst all the Indian gaming casinos in the state of North Dakota. Dakota Magic is one of 3 casinos in North Dakota that will be having sports bet on their property. Dakota Nation Gaming Enterprise is hopeful that the state of South Dakota will also offer Indian gaming casinos to offer sports betting at Dakota Su and Dakota Connection Casino. Some issues that compounded our efforts during the closures were the lack of cash for property. Due to this, we were essentially cash-strapped at the end and ended up using $1.5 million that was earmarked for capital improvements with permission from Shakopee. DNG pays all of its net income to the tribe, and there was no money set aside for capital projects or savings in the case of emergencies. We recommended all casino payouts net income to the tribe to be at least 85, and the 15% remainder to be set up in a corporate capital reserve account. The account, once set up, would need approval from council for all uses. As set aside from above, Dakota Su Casino and Dakota Connection are in dire need of capital improvements. Dakota Su needs to have a lot of work done on their HVAC systems, and Dakota Connection needs a lot of work on their structures, parking lots, and pumps. And in closing, the fiscal year 2019 year was overall a good year for DNGE. However, as COVID-19 impacted our community, it has caused significant decreases in the revenue for Dakota Nation Gaming Enterprises. We remain hopeful and confident we'll be able to get back started soon to normal business operations. Just to let you guys know, we are planning to open up our table games. We do have some significant procedures and protective gear that need to be required before we can open these things up, like use of face masks, plexiglass for customers, and also face screens for the customers also. We are looking at opening up operations across, like Mr. Mudd said, hopefully getting back to normal. But as of right now, we are doing what we can to protect the employees and the customers from COVID-19. So with that, I'm going to invite Ms. Brenda Usazero. She is our Employee Assistance Program Director, and she's going to be going over and talk about her report and for the 2019 year as to what she's been doing for our employees. So, Brenda, if you can come up.
Talk like this, all my folks. Kidding. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
I'm Brenda Usazero. I'm the employee assistance provider for the 3 casinos. So my report should be in with all the reports going on there. So the EPA program was established to provide counseling, referral, education, and other assistance to employees that are seeking to improve their lives. This program offers a broad array of services intended to help employees accomplish their goals. So what I do is I travel to all 3 casinos on different days. I'm at Dakota Su 2 days, Magic 2 days, and at the Connection for 1 day every week. I do the DPE classes, which stands for Developing Productive Employees. So I have that every 3 weeks. It's a 2-day program, just offering soft skills and hopefully some skills that people can use as they enter back into the workforce. So I still see maybe 15, 20 employees every week. I provide life coaching, so I became a certified life coach. And so I provide life coaching, which is about meeting with people with like work-life balance issues, challenges that they face. It's, having a job's a lot of work. And so that's how I teach people in DPE. There's a lot of challenges that come up, babysitting, travel, all these different things. And so with my life coaching, I offer services to help people to just face challenges that they come. Sometimes they just need somebody to talk to, different. So I do life coaching, and that keeps kind of keeping me pretty busy. We collaborate with treatment centers like Keystone, Deep Dakota Pride, the ones in Fargo, different Sioux Falls, just to help maybe do evals and help people if they are seeking treatment or something. And I provide aftercare services. So a lot of times people, once they're done with treatment, it's hard to leave work and every week to go for aftercare. So they can come to me for aftercare. Also, maybe people that are like on probation or something like that, they have to meet with something for aftercare program every week. So they'll contact me, and then we'll set up a time when they meet with me each week. So I do that. So our goal then in the coming years to continue to provide counseling and coaching services to all the D&GE employees and provide trainings, the DPE trainings. We did a training this year for employees just on personal development and soft skills training at Dakota Su, which went really, really good. Had a really good turnout. It was like an 8-week program, and every week over 50 employees attended, so I was really happy about that. So we went over stuff like time management and communication skills and just dealing with conflict or challenges in your life, and got some really good feedback that it was really helpful. So that was what we kind of did. Our plan is to maybe have one for supervisors, maybe supervisors, managers, on just some more skills, on coaching skills, for maybe time and attendance coaching skills, different things like that. So that is one of our plans. I'll just kind of talk about that on the second page. So we have done quite a bit of training this year. The colors program that we do in the casinos. We're setting up budgeting training, budgeting coaching. So employees will be able to come and have money management or budgeting, help them set up a budget, stay on a budget, maybe save, learn how to save some money. For our money management and coaching training we're setting up, we kind of have our mission is to just help people learn how to manage their money better. And so our vision statement is kind of like, we learned how to spend money and we got really good at it. Now we got to learn how to save money. So that's kind of what we're using as our vision statement, and helping people to learn how to set up a budget, live on a budget, and maybe even save some money. So if you learn how to save a little money, everything isn't such a crisis to them. If you have a flat tire, it's not a crisis. If you have a little bit of money saved where you can get a tire or something like that. So that's our goal for that. So with this COVID stuff, we have been sending out information, letting managers and people know that we're here, because it's a lot of changes, and change is hard for people. And so we're there for people to come in if they're, having a lot of stress over that. So we're just giving out information. We made some flyers to give out on how to deal with stress, different simple ways you can deal with stress, like just that self-care stuff. Drink water, do some stretching, maybe go for a walk. Just some things to do to take care of ourselves during this stressful time of going through this COVID and all the changes that come with that. And the new normal at work. We got to wear masks, social distancing, all that kind of stuff. So we're there just to help, and people need to come and want to visit and talk and all this kind of stuff. And so when we were gone, I was gone for 2.5 weeks, just had, people were still contacting me by messenger or phone or something now and then. They had concerns or wanting to do about different things, so tried to help in that way. And and so we're still going to be there for the employees as we go through this change to help them as, all the changes that are coming up, and maybe fears about this virus. People have fears about this virus. Some don't, some do. Some act like it's nothing. Some are very concerned about it. So we're there for people if they are with their concerns and all these different things like that. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. In my report was just all the lists of different things that I've been, trainings and stuff that we have been doing. I did some customer service trainings, all those life skills trainings I do at orientation now. And I started in December. I started taking online classes. I'm going to become a professional recovery coach. So I should be completing that and graduating from that program in August. So, and with that, I'll be able to offer more services and stuff for substance abuse. And the main focus I picked on my recovery coaching is family issues. So most of my recovery coaching now, a lot of it has to do with addressing family issues and stuff, because that's a big part of it in the workforce. So that is what I'm currently doing. I'm just in my last 7 weeks or something of it. So, and I continued to that while we were off work. I had online classes and live classes and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I've been doing when we were closed. So I'm excited to be seeing the end of the tunnel for that. I have 8 more weeks and I'll be graduating, so I'm glad for that. And there's some information on one of the pages about what a certified professional recovery coach is and what they can do and stuff like that. A lot of that is relapse prevention also, and also more aftercare stuff, or say somebody been through treatment and then they relapse. They feel like, oh, I don't want to have to go all the way through treatment again, all this, I can't leave work. They can come to the recovery coach and I'll put them on a program where they work with me. So in case they can't leave their job, or, maybe they relapse and just need to get back on the right track, that's what a professional recovery coach would be doing. Last page, our goals for the upcoming year is just to continue providing the coaching and counseling services to our employees, evaluate our DPE program for effectiveness. But I want to, we kind of have a plan. I have a plan in my head, and one of the goals for next year is just to make maybe, we're thinking of maybe calling a DPE continuation program, where once they're done with DPE, we'll invite them to continue seeing me for maybe work-life balance coaching. And we'll just keep track with them for a few months. Contact them, how's it going? What challenges are you facing while starting a new job is, like I said, it's a lot of work. And maybe we can help them with challenges right away and all of this, so that help them work, so work becomes easier, and maybe help with the retention, and the turnover rates. So we can contact them and let them know we're here, we care about them, we want them to be successful in their job, and just follow up with them. So we're kind of working on spreadsheets and stuff like that of how we're going to follow up and keep track of them and make sure we contact them and let them know, we're still supporting you after you start your job. So that's kind of in the works now. It's not totally down on the spreadsheets made out of when and how we're going to contact them and all that. So that's something I'm hoping to do, or getting going this coming year. So I guess that's about it. You just continue doing what I'm doing, and be there for the employees. And I guess one of the main thing is just to try to maybe follow up, and once they start working after DPE, let them know we're still there for them, and provide some services with that way. So if there's any questions.
Let me swim.
Brenda, I wanted to let you know that I enjoy reading your report. It's very detailed, and you can tell by the way you're talking, you're really passionate about what you're doing. And that's good, and I'm thankful that you're part of the team at DNGE to help our employees, get through a lot of things. And what you do is awesome, on the team building skills and things, and you have your goals that you're setting. And I just wanted to thank you for doing such an awesome report and an awesome job for our employees.
Okay, thank you.
Also, any other questions, or anybody questions from the room?
No,
Thank you, Brenda.
thank you.
Up next, I'm going to have the general manager for Dakota Magic, Ms. Wanda Varnes, come up next.
Good morning. My name is Wanda Varnes. I'm the interim general manager at Dakota Magic Casino. 2019 was one of our best years financially since 2015. This was the year that we were in the casino after construction was completed. All department managers monitored and stayed within their budget. This was very important because of some of the big payments to finalize our construction. The marketing department promotions were very successful. Every other month, we had a giveaway of gifts on Tuesdays and Thursdays. With this promotion, it brought in customers into the casino. The slot department count has been reduced, and the layouts has been modified to allow more spacing due to the budget restrictions for fiscal 2019. Only 11 new machines were purchased. Another thing that I didn't write in my report, when we looked at the slot department, we had quite a few participation and progressive machines from slot companies. And by looking at that, we paid way over a lot of money to these companies. So we took a look and contacted these slot companies and negotiated some of our contracts. Instead of doing a percentage, we went into a fee, which brought that cost way down. So that helped us in our 2019. Dakota Magic is working on sports betting to be up and running in August 2020. We were close to getting it in place. However, since the COVID-19 came in March, the process was slightly delayed, but everything is back on track. Dakota Magic Casino reopened the casino floor on June 6, 2020. A lot of safety precautions were implemented to protect our team members and customers. Table games is temporarily closed, and unfortunately, the difficult decision was made to permanently close the buffet. Financially, the buffet was in a decline for a number of years. And now with the precautions of the COVID-19, it would have been difficult to ensure and maintain a good infection control that requires customers to use common utensils or dispensers. So for 2020, Dakota Magic will continue to actively push the marketing promotions to drive the customers to visit our property. And we have, still have our weekly meetings. We do more sanitizing and different things like this. We're only 24 hours on the weekends, Friday and Saturday. And from Monday to Thursday, we close at 2, and that's due to doing some deep cleaning throughout the casino. So, and that's to protect our customers and our employees. So I think we've done very well with that, with our team. So, thank you.
Any questions, Council? Thank you, Wanda.
Thank you.
One of the things, Wanda's report that we didn't really bring up, but Tribal Council did allow us to look into using that space that we shut down for the buffet to turn it into a food court area. So we are exploring that concept, getting bids and things like that, designs but so on and so forth. But next, I'd like to invite the general manager for Dakota Su Casino, Mr. Dean Price.
Good morning, executives. Good morning, council.
Morning.
Thank you for having me here this morning. Quick report on Dakota Su Casino. We're open. We're excited to be there. I was listening to Wanda's remarks. We're doing a lot of the same things that the Magic is doing as far as deep cleaning and things of that nature. We're excited to get table games open, which is the 29th, I believe. We're opening one blackjack table and one carnival game. But the staff, they are still excited, they are still loyal, and they're ready to go to work. Put together some numbers. The first 17 days that we opened from the COVID shutdown, the cost of doing business on the slot floor has went down. The minimum free play hits the slot machines and the actual net win increases. More money, actual gambling dollars, is being played and going to the drop. In turn, more money is being taken to the banks. And you'll have to bear with me, I'm a little nervous. This is my first general council, so. Hours of operation, 10 o'clock until 3 a.m. That is, excuse me, 7 days a week. And I really don't know what else to say other than when we do close at 3 o'clock, as the general manager from Magic said, we do the deep cleaning. Customer and employee safety is our priority at Dakota Su. Promotions going forward, we're one thing that we are looking forward to is the Prince Experience concert on the outside. We will be practicing social distancing for that as well. And we just looking forward to reopening 24/7, 365 again.
Any questions? Thank you, Dean.
Thank you for having me, Council.
Okay, next I'd like to invite the general manager for Dakota Connection Casino, Mr. Chris Seaboy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just kind of breeze over what fiscal year 2019, I wasn't the general manager of Dakota Connection. I came there in October of 2019. Pardon me. Right now, Dakota Connection has 186 gaming machines, employs 96 employees, mostly consisting of the tribal membership. Since coming to the property, I've been able to enable the staff to update the casino. If you guys haven't had a chance, go out there. We updated it, opened it up a little bit more, made it more user-friendly. I also made sure we trained them in the internal controls and SOPs of policy and procedure, DNGE. We were able to, while I've been there, been able to switch the floor plan from the old bingo hall to the casino floor, open it up a lot more. Then COVID-19 hit. So we were on a good track to get that moving, and we kind of had to pause for a while. So we've been up and running now since the beginning of early June. It seems like it's working pretty well. Again, it's just hit and miss. We got maybe, just assuming 85, 90% of our staff were able to come back. Again, we ran into more of them wanting to, so to speak, maybe stay at home, do the unemployment thing instead of coming back. But everybody that we have offered has come back so far. As far as the fiscal year of 2019, it looks like they were, Dakota Connection was somewhat profitable. They were able to give the tribe a disbursement of $900,000. In December, they gave them a $400,000 one, and in February, they gave them a $500,000 disbursement to the tribe. Pretty much what I'm just trying to push right now is, one, we'll just play it by ear to see how this COVID thing pushes through. We put preventative measures up by sanitizing, cleaning, and also barriers. And that's all three casinos straight across the board. We all work together with everybody just to get that moving to the right direction. All I can tell you is right now is we're going to try to make sure we provide that safe and secure environment for the casino and its staff and its patrons as well. Other than that, I don't really have much more for you until we get a little bit further into this thing.
Any questions? Thank you, Chris.
I guess at this point in time, we're done with our reports, but if there's any questions that anybody has, just please be respectful for any issues or any questions about net income or gross revenues or any personnel issues. Again, this is over the internet, and it's not just for our tribal membership. So.
Mr. Vice Chairman?
Weston, how is the tourism tax?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
The tourism tax, how is that figured?
That's a 4% tax on our RV park. Dakota Magic doesn't have one.
Oh, okay.
So that's why Dakota Su is the only one that's been reporting it. We did shut down our RV park because of the expansion that we had, and then when we did open it up, we've come to find out we had some issues with the water lines and things like that because of damage and freezing, and we had a lot of construction on top of them pads, so we ended up breaking some lines. They are currently getting fixed right now, and hopefully by spring of next year we'll have it up and running.
Questions? When will the shuttle start up for employees?
That's one thing that we're looking at. Again, we're trying to protect the employees and the staffs. from this COVID-19. With the shuttle, we do have a lot of tribal membership that are packed on this one shuttle bus. I know the operator has provided some PPE or personal protective equipment in the shuttle, and is requiring some different forms like gloves and masks, and having some type of barrier in between seating. However, that decision's up to Mr. Robert Mudd. But again, we are looking at that issue of the shuttle bus and protecting our employees.
Any others? Council, any questions over there? No? No questions in the room? Okay, if there's no questions, thank you for
Okay.
your time.
All right, thank you.
Are there any questions on anything else, I guess? We're through our agenda already.
I just wanted to say I got some calls yesterday about the COVID coordinator and the help that we're going to need to help with the membership applications. We are having an exec committee meeting to go over descriptions, and hopefully we'll have something in the paper next week.
Okay. Are you planning on opening up bingo again?
Actually, that'd be a decision up to Robert Mudd. I don't know at this point in time. I can't really answer that because he's the CEO, but I don't have an answer for you right now. So for next week, we are opening up table games, and that was one of the places that we were concerned about, but following industry averages or industry habits right now, we have followed table games protocols as far as what Las Vegas is doing right now. I haven't really heard of any bingos opening up across the casinos, across Indian country, or any commercial areas like that, or even how they're protecting the staff and employee or the guests. So in my opinion, once we start seeing something like that happen, as far as how people are protecting the guests and the employees for bingo, is something that we might look at. But right now, we don't have any answers for protection for bingo staff or guests. But again, that decision's up to the CEO right now.
Lake Travers? I mean, Weston, just so everybody on Facebook can hear, the question is, does casino have staff trained specifically for COVID-19 situations and sicknesses, should anything arise?
Yeah, what we're training our staff right now to do is just protect yourselves. Obviously, face masks, gloves, hand sanitizers, even facial shields. We are actively looking for temperatures and things like that. But as far as what happens when what we're looking for, I know that security's been asking questions when the guest comes in about any pains, aches, fevers, headaches, things like that. If anybody does answer yes to them, obviously we won't let that guest come in, or the employee, in fact. But you're right. Once somebody gets it, and it will happen, what's going to happen? And I don't have the answer for you. We may end up shutting down for cleaning. As to how long, I couldn't tell you at this point in time. But it is going to happen. I don't know if anybody from the tribe has contacted the staff at the casinos. But we do have security, and we do have a few people that are EMT certified and things like that at Magic anyway, that I'm aware of.
Okay, Lake Traverse and then Enemy Swim.
Mr. Chairman, I guess, Weston, why would that be up to our CEO if bingo is going to open or not? I think that'd be the question for the general manager to answer. The CEO is only advisory.
Okay.
'Cause I mean, what I'm getting at is, for members of council, if you haven't been out to Dakota Connection, there's actually a petition hanging up out there by the bingo players wanting to bring this back because there is no bingo at this time. And Weston, for your information, Big Top Bingo in Fargo is open, and that's where most of our tribal members are going.
Kind of kill two birds with one stone there. Getting back to your question as far as the COVID thing, there are staff, there are actually local community members that had COVID that I believe Russell Hawkins was talking about yesterday. They have come within our property, as far as my property was, and it's constant cleaning. It's sanitizers with 80% alcohol solutions. I mean, the minute I get a phone call, they're cleaning. It doesn't matter if I'm at home or not, and I'll answer those till the wee hours of the morning. I don't think any of us have EMS responses in the casinos at all, but that's a security measure. But I do work, and I'm more than apt to talk to whether it be the tribe themselves or the health inspectors that came in. But being in law enforcement, I was able to kind of be fluid with that. So hopefully I answered your question. I'm doing the best I can for right now, and I think everybody in the casino business is doing that. It's just, again, it's a hit and miss thing. Getting back to your bingo thing that Mr. Crawford asked me. Since we've opened, again, I can't get into the numbers like we talked about and stuff like that, but we do have the ability to open it, but it has to be done on a smaller scale. The room that we have, there's a 6-foot spacing involved in that, and yes, the other bingos that I have researched this week, there are some that are open. Again, it comes down to make sure everybody's safe, because you are touching paper, all these items that you're touching, we have to make sure that thing's safe. Just your supplies alone are kept in one general area. So to issue those, it's no different than how we issue pop at the casinos right now. We actually serve that to them under an environment. So that's something that bingo, there's an option there, but I think it's done in a phased out way. You got to go through phases, and we've only been open since June. We just can't up and open it all up right away. That could cause us a problem, kind of like with the table games, chips being constantly touched. So that's my best answer if I got one for you, if I answered it for you.
Cooley?
If I'm understanding Susie, I think what Susie's asking is we do have compliance officers on property, but we also have safety officers. So how are we utilizing our safety officers to ensure that, we've got our plans together, and how is compliance working with that to make sure everybody's complying with the COVID guidelines that our properties have put in place? So I think, Susie, is that kind of what was your question? Because that's how I understood you to be.
Well, the reason why I'm concerned about this is I have two people that live with me that work in the casino. They work in the slot area. My grandson is in remission from leukemia, and my son and myself do not want him to return to work. So he's an adult and he told us to go back to work. I did advise
Does he work for me or a different
So,
property or?
I guess that goes back to that question of our compliance and our safety officers. How are our safety officers carrying out these guidelines, and how is compliance ensuring that they're being followed?
I can only speak for my staff, and I stay on the compliance, and we just got a new head of security, so in fact, I was just speaking with him earlier today. We have to stay with those procedures and guidelines that CDC set forth. And again, it's opening up, getting everything sanitized, they're wiping them down. I mean, there's a personal choice of coming back to work, and we're trying to protect them. And yes, I understand the high risk thing. But all I can tell you is that they were offered their employment back. Now, if they wish to choose to not come back, that's a personal choice. I can't force anybody to come to work. But I can give them the opportunity in the best measures I have. Just at the connection, I can't speak for the other three.
Well, and while we're reversing that, those are the magic, and I know she's really qualified because she says, and she's taking care of people. When I worked with her, there was times where I did put it out and stuff. So I know she is educated. That's all. You know, but I was just wondering if she had a special staff.
I know how I would do it. I can't speak for the other three. Okay?
Inmate Swim, did you have a question? Okay. Lake Travers and Wanda?
Mr. Chairman, Chris, I don't think you answered the question. Is bingo going to come back eventually, or is it not going to come back? I think that's what the people want to know.
Yeah. Maybe I wasn't clear enough. I think we can bring bingo back. I just think there has to be safety measures put in place to ensure that. It's not that I'm trying to not open it. I have worked with DNGE Corporation and said, hey, guys, people are asking. Again, there's other issues with management-wise. We can figure out cost effectiveness and all stuff, but I don't think any of us have a problem with bringing bingo back, especially me. I just think we do it on a scale that is safe. But I was reevaluating yesterday just to see how we could pull this off. Again, we can't get into specifics on money and stuff like that, but I can tell you that, yes, I'll bring it back. I have no problem with that, but I want to do it as a team effort, and that's working with Weston and Mr. Mudd to make sure that I give you the best answer I can. Right now, I just think it's kind of early, and again, we spent so much money on plexiglass and stuff, and there's new things coming out. There's other ways to make this happen.
As long as you're researching it, and as long as you can give the membership, and actually not just the membership, but our customers an answer. Because like I said, I mean, they've taken it upon themselves to start a petition to bring it back because they've been told that it's not coming back. So that's why I'm asking, you need to give them an answer. If bingo's coming back, then explain it to them that bingo is going to be back, just not at this time.
And
that's kind of what your answer is.
I got those phone calls too, and I had heard you guys got some as well, but it never came out of my mouth that it wasn't coming back. So I don't know who said that and how that came about. As I told you guys earlier, we do it in a phased way. We just don't throw all those people in that little area, which we've secluded off now, and take one heck of a chance of spreading that virus. And if you guys have read up on the COVID, there's people in LA that were sitting in their home doing everything right, just like Mr. Hawkins had said. And they got it in their home, they never even left. So that's where we really got to watch this COVID thing. But as far as bingo, I have no problem with bringing it back.
And that's fine, and that's all I want to see, Chris, coming from you as a general manager, is an answer to the customers. Because it's the customers that make the casino happen. And my last question, Mr. Chairman, is for all three general managers, is some of the employees are saying that because there's no shuttle, actually before the two general managers, Dakota Connection and Dakota Magic, being that the shuttle isn't up and running, or if it is running, there's not enough room. Some of the employees that do rely upon the shuttle that don't have transportation to get to and from work can't make it to work because the shuttle's not up and running, and they're being penalized for it. And if you remember, a while back, I asked that question when you guys were proposing to reopen. And at that time, it was said that they would not, the employees would not be held accountable for that because there was no transportation for them. So now I'm being told different and hearing different from these employees. So what is happening with the employees that don't have transportation that rely on a shuttle? Are they being held responsible? It'd actually be for you and Wanda.
I'm sorry.
That question would be actually for you and Wanda because you guys have the shuttle service.
I didn't even know if the shuttle was up and running. Nobody's told me yet. I think that was Weston had talked about it, but I have no problem with, I think there was an issue of, if I could get them to the connection, I have no problem with those managers helping them and getting them there. But I don't know if anybody hasn't been able to make it to work at the connection. If they are, heck, give me a call. We have a Suburban, we can come get you somehow. But I have no problem with that. Again, we go back to IGRA, gainful employment, and that's what I have no problem with that at the connection side. I can't speak for how the manager.
So none of the employees at the connection have been held responsible
I haven't held
or?
anybody accountable for
Okay.
the missing it. Everything you asked me about that last, 2 or 3 meetings ago, I've been more than receptive to the staff at the connection. And I understand things happen, but we got to be fluid with that. We just can't be so stern that, I'd say after 5 or 6 times we look at it, but a couple times that it's not a big deal. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to help them get a little bit of gainful employment.
To answer your question, right now, we haven't had anybody saying that they couldn't make it to work because of the shuttle. They have been making it to work. I know that some of the applicants, and when they get interviewed, would ask, do we have a shuttle service? But I haven't heard of anybody saying they can't make it to work because there's no shuttle. They either caught a ride with a coworker, or they have their vehicle and they've been making it to work. So that's as far as I know. But like I said, any questions of the shuttle is the new applicants, wondering when we're going to get the shuttle going. And right now, we had some discussions with the person that runs the shuttle, and one of the current concerns is social distancing, because when she did run her shuttle, it's packed. It's really packed, and sometimes she had to refuse people. So that was one of our concerns, is that social distancing. And she's been trying to come up with different things, maybe purchasing another shuttle and having more than one. But I haven't discussed anything with her anymore after that. I haven't heard of her calling us or anything, but that's one of the main concerns. Hand sanitizer, masks, all this and that. So hopefully someday this will be gone so that we can get back to some kind of being normal. This is so new to us. Even though we've been in a casino business all these years, and then this happens, and then we reopen, and it's like, it's so new, and it's scary. We have some employees that are scared about this. So, and then to answer her, when we opened, we did have some employees that didn't want to come back, and we accepted that. We knew the reasons why. Some of them had medical issues. So what they did was they went to their provider, their doctor, and got a doctor's note, and we acknowledged that. So since we were on that PPP, they were still able to get paid. So it was their choice what they wanted to do, and we accepted what they wanted. And now that we've been open for 2-3 more weeks now, we're getting better at how to protect ourselves. So, and how to clean and different things like that. So I do feel that we have done a lot to protect our employees, customers, and the ones that have come back with some medical issues and things like that. Some have gone to maybe 32 hours. We did have a couple that just went to part-time, but it's something. So hopefully I answered some of your questions.
Mr. Chairman, all I wanted to do is make sure that, because the previous conversations that we had, the CEO had said none of the employees would be held responsible if they couldn't make it to work because of no transportation if they relied heavily on that shuttle. And now that, you know, some people have been talking about it on social media and whatnot, and people have been sending me that information, that's why I'm asking you guys as the general managers
Okay.
to make sure that, you know, you're following through with what the CEO had, you know, informed council of previously, that these employees weren't being held responsible because they couldn't make it to work due to the shuttle not running.
They're not being held, they're not being held. I mean, we've worked, like I said, some of them are carpooling, but most of them have their own vehicles and they've been making it to work. I haven't heard, nobody's been written up or anything because they couldn't find a ride or they didn't have, nobody's being written up for that. We've taken a lot of considerations on because of this COVID-19. I mean, we've even had people call in and just say, I'm still a little nervous about it, then that's fine.
You got the main shuttle driver sitting right there, he's ready to roll.
Yes.
Bakuli had a question?
I just want to thank you, Wanda, for being flexible with your staff during this time.
Yes.
And I want to thank you, Lake Travers, for bringing up the issue. And I'm wondering if this is something that our executives can get with Mr. Gunn about and see if there is a way that we can purchase some shuttles. So that way we're not relying on just one or two vehicles and we're able to bring on a few more so that way we can practice social distancing within this area. So if that's something that our execs could do, I think maybe we can follow up and see if this is a COVID-related expense that can be covered to help with the issue. And then also with the corporate structure, according to the Articles of Formation, the CEO does have supervisory authority over the GMs. Any other corporate staff is just recommendation advisory.
On the, I don't think we'd be able to purchase shuttles for them because that's a contracted service, so we couldn't buy shuttles for that company. They'd have to buy them.
Well, we could do for our casinos, you know what I'm saying? If it's something that, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I wonder if we shouldn't just ask Gunn if that's an equipment that our casinos can purchase for this issue. I mean, I guess it wouldn't hurt.
We can, yeah, we can look into it.
It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but we
Yeah.
can ask.
Jesse?
Amatake api oi chancha zoas nina wopira. I'd like to thank council for letting me get up and take about 10 minutes to 15 minutes of your time. I want to answer the question. I don't have the authority to answer the question for Katrina Bars, but I'm the longest employee that she's had for 3 years. We're all part-time drivers, there's 4 of us. We're just part-time drivers, we all have other jobs. She has, I think, a total of, for sure, 2 vans, maybe even 3. But the pickup is very inconsistent every morning, every afternoon, and every night. The most consistent shift is, of course, swing shift. But they haul anywhere between, easily to guess, 30 to 50 people a day. We've all been approached by, when the casinos went back to work, we all been approached by workers saying, I only got 1 car. My spouse and I both work at the casino. Both work different shifts. My spouse works at the cabinet company. We only got 1 car. I work at the casino. One of the shuttles going to run again. And I said it's up to Dakota Magic and Dakota Su Connection. But we've attended and got trained by the public health nurse at IHS, which I recommend you guys do out here. It was an excellent COVID training information given out. I don't think that's been addressed anywhere in any policy yet. I think the casino should do that also, and they're willing to do that. It's a half-minute class, and you will realize what you're dealing with. These are the only things that should be mandatory on this reservation are these masks. We're almost as bad as the Washichas when it comes to these masks. You go to any town, the Washichas don't wear these at all. They're arrogant to the fact that they're beyond getting sick. They're beyond dying. And I'm glad today is the best I've ever seen it in here of how we're wearing masks. I'm really proud that we're doing this and we're finally getting serious about this, because there's only a small amount of us Dakotas left. And we should, like I said before, if we outlive the Washichus, we can get all our land back. So that's what we should be striving to do. So to answer this question, the Pony Express is ready to run. We sanitize in between each run. There's plastic being put in between the seats so they're not spitting all over. Mandatory to wear mask, mandatory to wear gloves. So as far as sharing this from Ms. Morris, she's ready to go. She has 2 vans, which would be costly, but a minimal cost to the casinos. And I know people have already not gone back to work because they don't have a ride. There's a lot of our Wichita employees that don't have cars at all. We all know that. We all have relatives that don't have cars. We aren't there yet, you know. But with this COVID money, with transportation that's in the COVID clause, that additional money can be, I think, given to the casinos to pay for the additional costs. Maybe running boat vans, one following the other, especially on weekends, especially on swing shift, where one van can follow and piggyback the other, and so we have space and room in between. These are the things we've talked about. So she's willing to do anything it takes to help our people to get to work. Oh, Madame Yoda.
Any other questions? Tom? Council, anybody else in the room? Terry? Yeah, go ahead.
Let's consider the council of leaving you guys' COVID money. I don't know if you guys got your contingency plan in place. You know, something like this was to arise.
I'm sorry, Terry, you couldn't hear that?
Contingency plan. You have your contingency plan in place in case a situation like this arises. What is your contingency plan?
Are you talking as far as another pandemic, or?
No, I mean, you're talking about gaming. You're trying to put more money into gaming. Now, gaming is going to be the way it was, you know, I mean, your contingency plan. If that doesn't work, you must have another plan to fall back for our people. What is it? Asking all your leaders up there. But anyway, some of the reasons I'm up here is dealing with some of these issues here I have with the council here. And one is that to do with your guys' removal. You know, dealing with this, your guys' motion when you made to get rid of Kurt. That you went against policies. That was on the last day of you guys, that was made by Rendell, right? Get rid of Owen. You guys must remember that. There was April 3rd, this was the last day of that council. Motion made by Rendell, second by Cheryl Owen, question by Floyd Kirk Jr. to remove Dusty Kirk from his position as the Home Buyers Program Director due to recent criminal indictment. You guys passed that. But you guys got in policies where you weren't allowed, correct? Personnel policies? Isn't that why you removed Ella Robertson? Because you got involved in, didn't go through procedures, policies? No comments?
That motion was rescinded.
Well, it was already adjourned. You don't have a special meeting just to protect yourself. Right? Was it an emergency? Well, they have other issues as well. This organization as well is trying to take away the Dakota people's treaty rights. Hunting and fishing and gathering rights. Treaty rights was held by federal court cases. It was brought in front of this council back, this organization here. And the Natural Resource Department got in court where they tried to take away our treaty rights. And your resource person, that Miller girl, got all arrogant when it got thrown out. They were going to appeal. I got the appeals here as well. So I think we need to have if we want to have special meetings, I think we need to have a special general council discussing your guys' this organization here, the future of our people. You guys aren't looking out the future of our people. You run down over there when you guys utilize it, when you guys, on the day flute and stuff like that, you guys wouldn't, brought in these white people to patrol us. You justify it by utilizing the treaty. I got the treaties here. You guys ever read the treaty? Rendell, you was a part of that as well. You use the treaty to justify selling us out to the states. But we don't go by a treaty, do we? We go by a constitution, correct? You went against the constitution. But I think if you're going to talk about issues of the treaty and stuff, this next general council, which you should have, this one should be postponed. You need an answer to the people. Because if the treaty issue is brought up, I think it should be in front of the Dakota people. You come on? You read this treaty, run down? You're the part of it too, wasn't you, Johnson? I got everybody's names down here. You're not doing anything for our people. So I think even this organization needs to be restructured. Even the Constitution. You look at the Constitution, it reflects the benefit of the white members. There's no mention of Dakota people in there. Nobody's fighting for the right or the very existence of our Dakota people. You certainly aren't. You guys are all corrupt. Rundell, Enemy, Simmons, Jackson, over your little gang there, and everybody knows that, When we don't try to do anything for the people, so we need to stop this. It needs to be stopped immediately. All this money we've been getting, $26 million a year, where's it go? I got your guys' budget, but it stays right in this circle here. All this gaming money stays right here. Almost what, 12 million? I got your guys' budget here. It doesn't add up to what the budget you guys are portraying. This is your guys' budget, right? 2019. Shows where all this gaming revenue going to places where program support, and they're all federally funded programs. So why are you putting all this money into these programs that are already federally funded and they're not producing anything at all? Especially the Natural Resource Department, you got what, damn near $2 million going over what? Take care of some animal? They're not producing anything. A little mom and pop place back there, a little hatchery, that is nothing. And they're getting $2 million. And a lot of money from this gaming funds. So these gaming funds aren't doing nothing for our people other than this little circle here. These money could be used to generate your contingency plan. You don't want to take none of this land out of lease because it's going to affect somebody's pocket. The land is important for our people's future. All this gaming money can be going to produce on this land. Only the white people are benefiting by it. So you need to make a motion to have a special general council. Another one here. Direct, dissolvement of this here. Reconstruction of it. Everybody knows I'm right because it's right here. And it doesn't comply with you guys' your budget that you got out. So, what do you think about that? We should just be going to go back as far as the treaty. I mean, look at how things are going here. You got the education system, Negroes and cowboys, and educating them and housing them. They show up at the food pantry over there. Our people are what? You're trying to give them trailer houses? I think it's time all this shit stop, man. Excuse me. Time for general council, you answer to the peoples. Need a motion to have a special general council. Because you're not answering to the peoples here. Microphone, certain people in. Everybody can wear masks. Have a general council. Answer to the peoples. I got all these issues here that I want to be dealt with. You guys should be removed. You removed other people for doing the same things you did, but you sit there with them because you protect each other. They're right. You do, Jackson. You guys got a bunch of secrets in here, everybody trying to get rid of each other. So you're corrupt. You know what I mean? What good does that do to our people? And what do you bring to the table that's going to benefit our people as far as knowledge? So what do you say?
But Terry, it's kind of hard to respond. You talked about the hunting rights. I'm not aware of what your situation is.
Court cases? Well, that's what it should be brought up in general council here. But we can't. These are all the treaties. I don't know if you read them treaties, you guys. 2/3 of the male population has to approve it. Here's the court cases dealing with treaty rights, hunting, fishing, gathering rights. Here's the appeal. This is the appeal. I got our hunting and fishing gathering rights, all protected by federal court, our treaty rights. This organization here and the Natural Resource Department try to take away that from the Dakota peoples. I'm against that. I fight for the Dakota people. You guys fight for your pockets, I guess. I don't know what. So I think we need to have another
Yeah.
general council referring just to the Dakota peoples. They don't even show up in the Constitution. Who's looking out for the very existence of our Dakota people like this guy was trying to talk about? You know? And you're bringing in all these people in, well, your military, that's a military tactic. You can't beat it out of you, breed it out of them. You know? And that's what you guys are doing to our people. Destroying us. You talk about this COVID, there is such thing as gated communities. How many of you council people went out there and passed out food to our people? Or protected our communities? Huh? That's your guys' responsibility as your leaders. But you know, we need to dissolve this or go talk to the people about it. And here's your guys' budget. A lot of it doesn't even conform what you guys are writing out. And the fact that all this gaming money, this profit money goes to this little circle here isn't benefiting anybody. It shows the corruption here. And you wonder why people are upset. You know, there's nothing. No plan for nothing. You don't want to use our resources. You don't want to better our people's lives. Grocery store ain't going to make it. You got a commodity program, and you got a food program over there. You know, food pantry. People come to both of them, they go right by your stores. Well, first of all, the store is never meant to succeed anyway. You don't open up a tribal entity in a community that's prejudiced and expect them to support you. And it shows up in here, and, you know, it's never going to make any money. People don't know about business. If that's what you guys' responsibility, have some kind of knowledge of business. Because of this organization, this council, this governing body, this tribe is a business. You understand you had a chance to buy Teals. Sure bought it. Taxes you could have dealt with that 3-4 years, but you would have bought out your competition. That's called what? People don't know about business. But anyway, I'm requesting a special general council dealing with the reconstruction of this and then also the Constitution, where it reflects Dakota people and the betterment and the future of our Dakota people. And we need to make a distinction. You know. Favor to the motion. I'm on favor for it. General council, is the people get to say, I'll make a motion. Next week. Sooner the better. Not waiting for elections and stuff like that, but I think, you know, we need a lot of stuff has to be resolved, especially the money issue. That's the whole issue. You think by pampering our people with, you know, food and stuff like that, and it's gonna, we don't need any food. We got plenty of food. I don't know what the requirements or where you have to spend that money, but you want food. I know you guys turned away this Renus land. I heard from the Hortons about that. You don't want this Renus land over here, which was happening for 30 years. You can take that COVID money, buy that Renus land, and set up a bunch of greenhouses. You have produces forever. No, they have people out to grow some food. You guys want to get involved in medical marijuana, so start growing some food first. That is your issue with dealing with this hemp, right? Let's get things in place here. Start doing for our people. These casinos, you look at the environment these casinos created. We got a pawn shop down there loaded up with everybody's traditional outfits and their bustles and their beadwork and all this stuff down there. That's the environment we created with gaming. And it shows all over. So when I'm talking about contingency plans, something other than gaming, you're talking about people continue to pour money in there. How much money have you poured in the past? Hundreds of millions of dollars. You know? How much is oil? Even that sacred animal is under hawk too, apparently, right? The buffalo or the bison, he's domesticated. Now you got to hay for him and stuff like that. There was opportunities to trade that animal off for some lumber, construction lumber, and that was rejected by the council. I would think the novelty should wear off now about that buffalo, that animal. No sacred more than any other elk or deer. If there's anything that's sacred or tradition, it's the Dakota people, period. You know, we're not doing anything. This is what, a third herd? You guys know the history of our peoples around here? History of gaming, we dug up our people's remains. Hawkins was part of the council that was in charge when they got an eminent domain law. Take that land away from our people from Canada. We didn't want to do that because there was remains there. We dug up remains. That would show your future right there. I don't even know what happened to remains. Did you guys bury them? But anyway, I make a motion for a special general counsel dealing with all these issues at hand here, to correct everything that's what's going on here. Get an actual council, actual leaders. I have a different plan for this, but then that'll be brought up in council. Then we need to dissolve this. All the districts are corrupt, so no representative should be coming from a district. Like the executive, all the councils should be elected at large. No vice chairman, no treasurer, secretary, you don't need that. Something that should be discussed, restructuring everything. This isn't working. Giving money to the district, it creates the corruption. All of our people are going to prison. So that isn't the answer.
Council, any comments? Bakuli?
I want to thank you for your concerns that you're bringing up to the table. But I know we've talked, and I know you're not the only person that has stated that this structure doesn't work. And we did, in the very beginning, have a nonprofit come in that could help take a look at and restructure tribal government. They've done it in other places. We've reached out and we've got a nonprofit that's going to come in and help do community engagement for economic development, for community development. And we've said this amongst ourselves in casual conversation, that it would be nice to have that third component where we have a nonprofit come in and help us with our governance review. So I think we've got two in motion, but the third one is the one that you just brought to our attention and you've stressed, is the review of our tribal government structure, and I think that's important. So if that's something that we could explore, I'd be willing to do that, and that would bring in community.
Outside entities in here.
It would be a nonprofit, and what they would do is they would help engage community.
It's the fact that you want to bring outside entities in here to tell us what to do. Do you live here?
Well,
Do you live here?
yes, sir, I do.
If you lived here, you would know the needs of the people. We don't need anybody from the outside to come in here and tell us how to live our lives or how to govern our peoples. You understand?
Yep, and I get that, and this is a tribal nonprofit, and they've done this in other tribes, and they've come up with they brought back traditional forms of government, and they did it by helping us engage our community, helping us structure meetings so we can all come together. I mean, it's something that we can explore. I'm willing to explore it. I recognize your, yeah.
Our people, not any of your nonprofits or somebody else coming in, well, this is how we do it. Our people that live here should say how we want to live. You guys
agree.
obviously want to bring on what? Outsource everything. That's in a lot of these programs. Everything's outsourced. You're not taking advantage of the actual knowledge that our people have. We can't even build our own houses. Give them FEMA houses. Oh, better yet, the governor's houses. And I got these guys' housing's estimate of $250,000 or $150,000 to build a two-bedroom home. Of course they can't compete. You know what I mean? They don't know how to do. They don't know what they're doing.
And
I
so,
built a lot of these houses over here. A lot of our people built a lot of these houses here. We know how to build, but we're not allowed to. You guys have no control over these departments, do you? Housing, you all got their boards and commissions and stuff. See, that's what I want to end. Everybody wants to have a say in everything. Councils should have a say in everything, but you guys don't have no authority. But the grievance committee overrode your guys' motion? That's what I'm telling you about what's going on here. Restructuring the Constitution, put the right people, put leaders in here, and they control, they do them for the tribe, all entities. That's a saving of money. You don't need no boards, you don't need no commissions, you know. Everybody wants to have their say in it, and that's why it is today. It shows up right here. Y'all won't have a say in it. You're not a council. You know, you compete against each other. You got your own little gangs, you know, your own families you stick up for. So it's not about Oyate. It's about La Familias. You know, that's what needs to end. The only way to do that, you do by dissolving the Constitution and this organization here and restructure it. Because we're already regressing. We're already going backwards. We're already back to square one. You know, all the things that have started in the past, you don't see it today. The store ain't a store. It's a diabetes trap. You know, you want to put a store here, you invest in the community of system. In our communities here, you don't look at them. That's their problem. Right, Mundell? You send it to their district. Yeah, that's their problem. You guys want the responsibility of our people. So I don't know who you answer to.
So, I mean, I appreciate, and I'm okay with you disagreeing with me, and I respect that. And if that's something that our community doesn't want anyone to help us facilitate, we do have planning and we do have community coordinators. So this is something that we can do
How long have we had
as
these planning
districts
departments?
is,
How long have we had these planning departments? And what plan have they come up with? Who's the planner now? Some Roberts guy?
Yes.
And what's his plan?
so we can
What's his
engage,
plan?
we can engage our community on governance review. We can do that. I think it's a good thing that we're talking about this and that we want to do that.
No, I'm not just talking about the Jackson. It's going to get done. And you're trying to avoid it, you're trying to put away from your responsibility. We can engage this, we can engage that. Like I said, if you live here, you would already know the needs of the people. So obviously you reside here. I'm talking about all of our peoples, you know. And this organization is the problem. You're continuing the way the Constitution is laid out. And that's it. You know what I mean? Protect yourselves. But you don't go by the Constitution when you want to go. Right when the guys do the treaty to sell us out. So that's what I'm saying. If we're going to go back to the treaty, let's go back to square one. And that's what the Dakota peoples. General Council should be with the Dakota peoples. Have them make the decision concerning the future of their people. Because nobody is looking at the Dakota people. Everybody's looking about themselves and their familias and their districts. And we're being dissolved. There's policies out there that say you don't have no, you know, little white in you, little black in you, you have no claims. We can go out there and protest all we want, you know. But here's where it's really going to happen, right here, amongst our people. If we want to be great, we can be great. We'll be bigger than niggas that you think we used to do. We're bigger than niggas. Go big from when you want something, you go to where?
Hey, Terry, you're getting a little disrespectful when you're throwing around slurs like that.
With that Negro man. You know, when you want money, you want to where? Shakopee. I want some more money for the casino. You know, that's begging. You know what I'm talking about? We have resources here. We have all kinds of people here. They are resources that have knowledge. And we refuse to use them. We'd much rather go to somebody else's community over here or outsource something else instead of utilizing our people. So, I make a motion for the general council and advertising, whatever like that, discussion of reconstruction of everything, especially the Constitution. The Constitution doesn't say anything about the code, but it does continue to drop down to the eighth. Me, I'd put it at half. Above half, you're Dakota. Below half, you're white. You know, when you look at the Constitution, it's all about white people. You know what I mean? That's like selling Dakota people out. Almost like they're, you know, making their demise visible. I don't want to see that happen. So I'll fight for Dakota people. I'm a Dakota warrior. You know, I don't want the other Dakota warriors fight for them. They march a lot. But I think it has to be done right here. Any opinions? Any suggestions?
Well, right now, we can't make motions. We don't have a quorum of general council to make that quorum for business to place. Once we get 10% quorum,
Well, I think you guys could postpone it and have a general council, actual general council. Even these last general councils, you know, supposed to be 18 years and over. More like they're coming into a circus. You know, you got popcorn flying all over the place and stuff. It's supposed to be about business. You know, everybody's waiting for a drawing so you can get something free. You know, it's all supposed to be about business and the future of our people, but it's not. That's what I'm trying to do here. If you guys agree with that, it should be done.
Can I say something about what's going on? And I'm talking about this because of our elders and the way we used to do it. People used to sit on council, 50s or 60s, and I don't know what the problem was. We will never move forward because
Gary?
Well, one other reason too is we're assimilated. You know what I mean by assimilated? We're Americans, we're white folks. Even our thought of brain thought, same thing. Greed, selfish, gluttonous, want it all for ourselves. You know, you can trace a lot of this stuff, especially La Familia. You can trace that back to the Allotment Act. This is your family, this is your family, it's your family. You can trace everything. Even all this honor and sacred and tradition stuff. You can trace that back too. But you have to look at our people. Depends how far back you want to go. I don't know how far the education system teaches, teaches Dakota history. But it's on TV, tell you what. But the important thing is right now is the future of our people. And the only way to continue the way it is right now, there's going to be no future of our people. That's why this has to be constructed. Go back to step one. Back then when we had power and everything like that, the problem there was, like you said, was money. Because we were assimilated, greedy, it was already divided up. Nobody was together. That's why I look at the Constitution, you got 7 districts. But according to the Constitution, there's 7 different tribes with semi-autonomous authority. You know what I'm talking about? 7 different tribes. And you guys are by the U.S., like the U.S. government. One little piece right here, and that's your control. Because you don't want the responsibility of the people, you push it back to the districts. You know what I mean? And if nothing can happen in the districts, you ain't going to do nothing about it. That issues in Buffalo Lake was brought here. But the fact is, Norman Johnson brought it to court, sued Buffalo Lake over honorary membership, giving his honorary members money. It got into court. The court came here to this organization here, this council, because it had to do with enrollment in our peoples and stuff. And the council here said they didn't want nothing to do with it. It had to be the Buffalo Lake, so they had the courts make a decision. I got that court case here too as well. So it shows your guys' not to do with anything for our people. Don't want nothing to do with our people. So I'm trying to question, who do you guys represent? You say you answer to the people. What people do you answer to? Who do you guys answer to? Who do you represent? Come on, leaders. Well, if you want to speak, how about a general council? We schedule another one, or we can discuss this. You guys prepare yourself, because you guys are not prepared for anything. These committees come in and throw you stuff at, just like when we get general council, we have to read it really quick and try to base a decision on that. That's not the way to operate either. You should be knowing about everything ahead of time. You should be well, involved with every aspect of this organization. But you're only here 2 days out of the month, but you justify your large wages, you stay here. You only have power when you're in session. So everything has to be restructured, because the Constitution shows the corruption. Can you read it? And it'll show you the corruption in there. And then you want to continue to go by it because you guys benefit by it. You are the only ones that can get rid of yourselves other than general council. You guys squabble amongst each other, but your own little cliques, you're not a council. So you can't be calling yourself a council. If you was a council, there'd be one answer out of it when it's done. Not, well, I'm voting for this, now I'm voting for that, and you got weighted votes. That in itself is corruption. So you got Veblen and enemy Swim and the Cooley over there, cutting all the votes, trying to control things. That's been going on for a while anyway. That's what I'm talking about, it needs to be restructured. In order for us to go into the future positively and all of that benefit by it, we need to restructure everything. I know a lot of you guys don't want to, but that much needs to be done.
Vice Chairman?
Thank you. I know you said you had some, this general council has been set up for, our for-profits and whatever. If you have any financial questions, I could ask for that. The other stuff we would have to meet on later, I guess. But I could answer questions of what you're talking about with budgets and stuff.
Well, budget, I got you guys' budget here. It doesn't even show the budget you guys did. I came in and asked for the budget a few weeks ago, a few months ago, and they looked at me like kind of funny, apparently I wasn't supposed to have it. I got 2 budgets or something. But anyway, it's about monies. Like we said, it's all about monies. You're not doing the right thing with the monies. Put it in everybody's pocket isn't the right thing to do. That doesn't do anything but create dissension, create animosity and hatred amongst everybody. all this profit monies, you guys are governed by, you got grant monies, you got government monies that's funding you already. And if you're not producing anything out of these departments, then no more money should be poured into it. What is it, raises, bonuses? Because a lot of this money goes to these departments that are already getting money. Some don't even need any money. What I was kind of curious about, tax money. The roads department isn't getting any tax money, just gaming money. Not getting any revenue, and that's a public service. And all these other services are getting money and they don't do nothing with the people. You don't see nothing. I mean, I live up in the hills, I don't see anything. You guys live here and you see system. Maybe that's why you invest in system. That's your fort.
Yep, I understand what you're saying. Actually, as executives, we're daunted with that task. Come Monday, none of our gaming employees are able to come back because there is no gaming money.
Well, you call this a crisis, but I say that we've been in a crisis for the last 30 years. We've been steadily declining. Good example is in my house. I got my house in 92, well insulated. To build a house today, you can feel the breezes coming through because we took control of it. We give our people cheap crap, you know what I mean? FEMA houses, trailer houses. And so you can see the decline there, the regression. Our people are in a regression. Even if you're standing still, on an archaeological standpoint, you're still regressing. You're not moving forward. It's not in our education system. The education system has been there for 100 years, and it's still there. If we don't provide nothing for our people, then college needs to be shut back down and put back into more of a bulkhead and teach our people skills. If you wanted a college, build it someplace else. But you're investing just in this community. That's one thing about the tribe. If anything's the tribe, well, there's the hatchery. Oh, there's the bag factory. It's all got to be within your view. The tribe isn't other than right here. That's why you say the districts, you don't look out for anybody. But the districts are all our people. We're all one people. The district is a territory. It's not a people. That should be put out. Actually, in the Constitution, it shouldn't even be in there as far as different, authorities. Everybody's got their Constitution. There should be only one. That one needs to be rewritten. And address all this poverty. We've been unemployed for what, 50% for how many years now? The government said, 15% they went into a crisis? Nobody's addressing that. We don't create anything for our people, do anything. We don't bring in industry. We don't do nothing. We think gaming is going to, look what happened to that goose that's laying that golden egg. No longer gold, is it? It's gaming monies. Nothing ever going to be the same. It's giving me a wake-up call. But the thing is, we had that opportunity long ago. A lot of things came here and got turned away. And these people that turn these stuff away shouldn't be allowed any place of authority. Because they're preventing the very advancement in the future of our people. What do you want us to be? Clean up after people. Wait on people really good. Clean up after them really good. Services. That's what you got our people doing. That's pretty honorable. I get my honor and I get my enjoyment out of building a house. A lot of our people that I built a house with, they feel the same way. Each day you can see it progress. It goes with any kind of thing. We don't have no man job, so to speak, you know what I mean? Where can they have any pride of doing anything? Everything's out doing like services. You want a job, you either go up to one of the casinos. When's the last industry buy? Egg factory? How many years ago now? Quite a bit, didn't it? What are the industries? We turned away decal. I was a part of that. We turned away hog operation. We turned away cattle operation. Japan wanted to get involved in international trade with us. We kicked them out too. We don't want to do anything. We got our own little clique here. And I was part of all this stuff. I know a lot of history of this tribe here. Oh, by the way, tribe is a group of monkeys. We're not really a tribe.
Okay. Madam Secretary has a comment.
Thank you for coming forward with your comments, Terry. I'm from the same generation, so I relate to a lot of what you're saying as far as the colonized thinking and the being able to govern ourselves. Because one thing I realized after getting on council is that you can't really effect change if you don't have the support. And I've brought it up to the U.S. Attorney when he was here that we have inherent rights as tribal nations to govern our own people in our own tribal court. And he agreed. But then there was opposition to what I said, so then it just went away. But we are not exerting our sovereign authorities, and so therefore we diminish our own sovereignty by not doing that. And there is so much lateral violence on the reservation, and people that speak out with a lot of misinformation are causing a lot of the dissension. And there's a lot of misinformation out there right now in relation to our the money that we got from the government called coronavirus relief funds. So there's so much misinformation out there that is being spread, and therefore people are looking at us as being corrupt, like we're after this money, but there's so many regulations attached to that money, and so many rules are changing as we go along. But I totally agree with you. I believe that our Constitution is modeled after the IRA, after the U.S. government, and when we're a treaty tribe, we're one of the few treaty tribes left. And way back many years ago, Robert, what was his name? He was from Rosebud or Pine Ridge, but he was an attorney, and he passed away now. But is it Fleinhawk? No. But he was here as a tribal attorney before. And he said at that time that we need to look to our treaty and model our Constitution after our treaty. And just to look at our treaty and stand on our treaty. Otherwise, it goes away. And the U.S. government already believes that treaties don't exist any longer. But yet they do. But we have to stand on our treaty, and we have to exert our sovereign authority as a tribal nation. And we don't do that. We're always looking to the white man or looking outside our own capabilities. So every time we want to solve a problem, we want to reach out and contract with the non-Indian to come in and save us. And that is one thing I don't agree with, because we have a lot of educated Native people in our own tribe that we can reach out to. We have a lot of capability within our own nation that we can look to help us if we don't have that ourselves. So I just want to say I appreciate your comments, and a true general council meeting would be to hear from the people. And to
True general council meeting? This is not a true general council meeting?
Yes, a true general council meeting would.
But this isn't.
This is just for reporting, but a general council meeting.
Well, that's what I'm asking to have one. I agree with you talking about saving our sovereignty. That's why I'm bringing up these issues, because you guys are not protecting our sovereignty. That Pius Lake there, how much money did the Natural Resources Department put in that lake? All the fish and stuff, even behind my house, they raised walleyes and they all got killed, and stuff like that, How much money is being invested in there? And the state will tell you outright that you have no jurisdiction on there. Game Ward's even come and told us that as well. Now, why are you not fighting for jurisdiction? That
Right.
is not meandering waters. You've been following these lawsuits that the state, these farmers been having with the state to deal with meandering waters? Okay, that Pius Lake, well, that was Aspen Slough. Come on, there was just a little bit of slough, probably about as big as this room, turned into a lake. Not because of meandering waters, because of snowfall or rainfall. So why is this tribe allowing the state to come and say, well, hey, you got jurisdiction on land, but you got no jurisdiction on this water? So what are they going to say about all these aquifers underneath us when you try to poke a well? Are you going to have to pay the state? Or are you going to have to ask the state to poke that well? Are you protecting their waters? We've got 7 aquifers underneath us. We don't have our own water treatment plant because we opt to give that to the white guy.
And years ago, I brought up the water rights. We need a water rights office. OEP is not a water rights office, it's a water quality
The best
office.
way to do anything is to utilize the resources. Instead of spending all this money in litigation trying to protect, well, I have these rights. I have these rights. We have all these resources, use them, and you will show your rights. That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly, you have to exercise your rights to have your rights. And that's what I'm saying, hunting and fishing
Utilize
rights.
all our resources for ourselves, not to benefit any farmer or one of your neighbors. That's what I've been talking about. And all this money you're talking, you revert to COVID money there. I wasn't referring to COVID. All this money they've been generating, nothing has been done. You have absolutely no plans for the future other than gaming. That's why I asked about your contingency plan. That's what contingency means, your fallback plan. You know what I'm talking about? You run out of gas, you might have a gas can in the back. But this gaming ain't going to happen, everybody knew it wasn't going to last forever. Now this is the end of it. But yet you want to continue to put more effort into gaming. You haven't people put enough into gaming? You can see it's destroying our people. We got 3 casinos there. All these casinos are based on population. They're never going to make a whole lot of money. Now they're going to barely make money. I imagine 50 to 60% of the money these gaming make comes from our own people. That's what we gave for our people. I'm about using our resources and protect our sovereignty, protect our water rights. If we're using them, we're protecting them. There's ways to make, but you guys turn a lot of things away. Like that acreage up there, and we swim up there. I'm surprised that we swim didn't try to fight for that. All across there's all Indian land, all tribal land. That farm was for sale. That would have been ideal. And this Renus land over here, that was offered to try. I found out from the Brooks the Hortons about that. And he turned it away. The neighbor told me it was offered to you at Appraisal Valley. Which one you guys were involved in that? Happened last year. You guys were all here. Why was it turned away? It was after the land for 30 years. Really? You know nothing about this.
We'd have to check with Realty. I'm not aware of that.
I heard that from Kelly Horton Anderson. She's my therapist. They got the land from Venus. She's the one who told me that they came to the tribe. Oh, by the way, I know the land and it's still for sale. If you're interested in making more property for our people to expand, you're all about old agency. So why are you not buying this land at old agency here? No, another thing I should want to suggest is that store over there, the grocery store. You should start making plans. You should get your as-built out and look at the square footage and see what could be put in there. Because it's already in debt, is it not? What would be good is like this month you didn't give no elderly cards out, correct? See how much money generated. Because this tribe itself with the elderly cards, having to go to that store, that's the only revenue. So this organization right here is supporting that story. Oh, little circle, but it's not profit money. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's their own money. I don't know who's involved in your guys' business stuff, but they actually don't know nothing about business. Neither is that girl that you got in charge there. I don't know who hired these people. You should have brought a grocer in, like we did this other store here. Somebody actually knew what they're doing. But anyway, that's just a suggestion for your planning guy, Roberts. See what you can do with that building over there, because that store isn't going to. With that Renus land, you could have built a store over here, or built one in Emily Street, where all the population is at. Deal with our people instead of investing in the community of system. To me, that's an act of treason. When you don't invest in our people, you put all the money into the white communities and stuff like that. That's almost like an act of treason, because you're not concerned about our people. You see my point here, people? No? Mm-hmm.
I do.
Well, apparently you don't have a general council, so you might as well adjourn. When can we have this meeting? A new one.
Yeah, Terry, there's nothing that says we can't.
You guys mentioned about when I brought up that issue about the motion you guys made, you said you brought up you had a special meeting, right? To renege on your guys what you did illegally? Right? You said you had a special meeting. Where you rescinded on your motion. Okay, so you can order a special general council meeting as well. I got that minutes as well. So, what do you say, people? Start Start a new beginning? Are you guys afraid?
Council, Terry, I'll just to comment on some of the issues you brought up. To amend the Constitution, just throw it out is something we just can't do. You need 30% of the registered voters to turn out to amend the Constitution.
United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. Have the right to do that. I passed a copy to all you council people when you guys got here.
As far as general council meetings, Constitution requires 2, and this is one of them, and then the second one is in December,
What Constitution are you referring to?
our tribal constitution.
But you guys also swear to the U.S. Constitution, do you not?
I'm sorry, what?
Swear to the U.S. Constitution as well? When you swear in?
It's in the oath. But my point is, there's nothing that says we cannot have another general council, so council can set another general council date.
Okay, then we need to discuss this stuff. Because nothing's going to happen here. You know what I mean? There's nothing successful, nothing beneficial is going to happen if it continues the way it is. I know you guys don't like me and stuff like that. That isn't the issue. I have knowledge. You know what I mean? The things that we're doing isn't benefiting anybody. It benefits the white folks. You know what I'm talking about? Us, it doesn't. Benefits the community assistant. We're investing in property. We got houses there and stuff. I imagine you're going to invest more there. That's the whole issue. How can you keep an economic circle when it ends up in the system, all our dollars? You guys must know about economics. That's part of being a leader. Business as well, because this is a business. You know how to keep the money going in a circle? You don't do it by buying government homes or Cashmere lumber homes. You don't by doing it by putting in your community assistance, you're putting your operations in there. That's not done like that. It's done by investing in our people, our community. We're like oases out there. Right? Everything's right here, period. It's a little circle. No, it's not general council.
This isn't a tribal council meeting, so there wouldn't be any motions made right now.
So tomorrow have a special meeting, right? Well, I showed you guys had a special meeting trying to renege on what you guys did illegally. Have a special council meeting to have a general council, something that's going to be beneficial. What do you say, council?
I second that myself. We need to get this stuff that's broken fixed immediately, else we're all gonna die. Simple and plain. Listen to what he's saying. Answer his damn questions and please help our people. That's very simple. Either you care or you don't.
Well, I guess I'm done. You guys are done. We're only going to have a special meeting, have this done. But I want to have a special meeting. I will be in the council, bring some more information for you people. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Diane?
Good morning, council, executives.
Morning.
Well, that's a tough act to follow. And while I agree with some of the things he's saying, we all know that's the truth, that the Constitution needs to have some work. You know, whoever is willing and strong enough to take that on, you know, it really should happen. That's not why I'm here. I only wanted to inform everybody, just because I knew you would be in session today, that the De Chantewi and the Kit Fox Okoda Kichies will be hosting or conducting a repatriation ceremony, which will begin on the 6th, Monday, July 6th, and will go through July 9th, and that will be the day of the burial. It kind of came up real quick. The research center, the museum, was willing to release the remains, and so the Kit Fox said, we're going then. They've been there for 10 years waiting to come home. And the elders and both of the societies had agreed that as soon as they will release them, we want them back because we've been waiting and they've been waiting. So they did. So we will be conducting that ceremony We have them here now, but the ceremonies won't begin until the 6th. But I just wanted to inform everybody so that you know that those ceremonies will be taking place. The Kit Fox and the Ptechante asked me, and I would, if I would ask the executives, but since I'm standing up here, I felt it important that all of council should know so that you can take it back to your constituents should they want to attend the ceremonies or would like to bring some food up, because there will be camped up there for 4 days until we bury the remains. A lot of people have stepped up already. It's really good to see and hear, and I want to commend everybody that is helping to make this happen at such a short notice. But I do commend the Kit Foxes and the Ptechantewi because they really pushed this. And I was kind of hesitant because of everything that's going on, and I'm a member of the Ptechante, and I was kind of unsure, but then, we brought them back last night and we put them away late last night, and it was just really a moving ceremony. And then I thought, wow, this is going to happen. I'm really happy. It made me feel good to know that we're doing good for our ancestors and that there was some young people there that are going to be, that were participating and watching and helping. And it really made my heart feel good because there are good things happening here. And with the elders that were present to mentor and show the young people and set that example, it was really moving, and it was pitch dark, and the fireflies were just lit up all around. It was just a real amazing feeling, and the breeze, the wind was blowing. It was something to experience, so I feel really good about it. The thing that they asked me to do was to ask the executives if people who are employed at our businesses, at the tribe, at other entities, and they drafted a letter for me to bring to you, if they would be able to, because some of the Kit Foxes, I believe, are employees at like the different entities. So I'm glad that some of the folks are here from our gaming entities, because it's important that they participate in the ceremonies and help us. Okay, just the one. And so I have a letter that they drafted that I brought, and I guess what they're just asking is your concurrence that administrative leave will be granted to those employees that want to attend those ceremonies. I do want to add that, we have done this over the years, and there's not a whole bunch of people knocking down the doors to come up and help. We always have a very minimal amount. I don't know that there'll even be two maybe from Magic or Dakota Su or even the tribe here. As the THPO, I help to facilitate things and act as kind of a hub for a clearinghouse. When people call and say, well, I want to cook, I want to do the Saturday or the Thursday morning meal or whatever, I just take note of that and make sure that people know that that's what's going to happen. But I felt it important that we all know, and we really need all of your support. There's not a lot of people up there. The way it's been done in the past is that there'll be a sign-in sheet, and anybody that's an employee anywhere has to sign in, and then that's provided to the executives or to their executives and to their whatever establishment they're employed with. So if there aren't any questions, I guess that's all I had to present this morning.
Diane, I don't have a problem with it. Madam Secretary doesn't, and I believe Vice Chairman wouldn't, and I believe Council wouldn't be opposed to that either, so we'll take care of that and get that ready for you. Is there anything, if there's something you need from one of our programs, just let us know, and we'll do all we can to help.
Yep, I will. Pardon me? Okay, I'd appreciate it.
Lake Travers?
Mr. Chairman, Diane, have they met their goals for fundraising for this event?
We hope they have. I mean, they have done fundraising. I think I put in there if a donation could be made, anything would help, because we purchased a semi-load of wood, which costed, I mean, it was a good expense. I think we paid $750 for a semi-load of wood. But they fundraised, and, you know, we knew this was going to happen for 2 years, and we've tried to raise money when we could. COVID has really changed a lot of things for all of us, so we haven't done anything. But in that letter, I do ask. They asked for a monetary, and I said, well, yeah, if that's what you want, then. So that there is a request for a monetary donation. This has happened since 1991, so it's kind of like. This has always happened. I want to say that prior to the current staff and everybody who's in place now, I think that Fish and Wildlife, Realty have always been very active, and they have contributed greatly, and I want to acknowledge them too, because these tribal programs have really stepped up. You know, our office, we've tried to step up and do as much as we can to facilitate. But Fish and Wildlife, Tribal Realty, and all of Charlene's staff have just been great on getting the grounds prepared for the ceremonies. The kit foxes, everybody's been out working, gathering rocks and wood, and so so this is all going on quietly, but I want you to know that there's been a lot of work that has been going on just in the last 2 weeks. Once we knew that this was going to happen, it just happened real quick.
The reason why I asked Diane is because, I mean, I know the last general council, the Te Chante Wea Society, they were out there doing fundraising and raffles and whatnot at the last general council, and when I seen that, I felt that, you know, we should be taking care of this as a tribe. You know, it's good to see the two societies helping and, you know, taking the lead on it, but these are our people.
Right.
You know, these are our people that are being reburied here, you know, where they belong at. And I always felt that, you know, we should be helping foot the bill on that as well. You know, that's why I ask, you know, if there's anything, you know, that we can do, and you know, all three executives are in agreement that if they have a program under their authority to, you know, that can help, then let's help.
This is technically a funeral. We can cover it, treat it as a funeral expense.
Because I know, you know, Lake Traverse District, we donated $1,000, you know, to the repatriation of these remains of our ancestors. You know, we did that last fall.
Did we get that? I don't think we received it. No, I didn't know who to ask.
I remember when I seen the flyers out, we made actually, because I believe I made the motion to.
I remember when that happened, but nobody ever contacted us, so.
Mr. Councilman?
Give Darwin a call, our chairman.
In years past, when when funds were given for this, there were questions about who was able to receive that money, because the THPO office is not the entity that handles repatriation. Although we work with the consultation, their grant dollars are not allowed to be used for like the repatriation ceremonies. So when we had received monies in the past, you know, who does that fund go to? And then if it goes directly to the Te Chantewi, there were questions about the way that they gather their food items and things like that. There was a whole lot of question as to how they were to purchase those things. And it's always been sort of private donations where individuals give or maybe donate their time or whatever tribal resources. So when the programs themselves are donating to the event in the way that they do, you know, I think it sort of adds to that sort of atmosphere of community that we're all contributing. So, you know, depending on how that's done, I think that would be a decision. Diane and I always defer to those societies and those individuals that work with it in decisions like that as far as receiving monies from the tribe. So it really wouldn't be for us to say whether that was okay or not, although it does present, they would have to accommodate the tribe's regulations on receiving those dollars. So in doing something like that, we'd have to make that clear to them.
Madam Secretary?
Diane, and maybe you noted this when you first spoke, and it doesn't say it in the letter, but I'm wondering, where are the remains being repatriated from?
Oh, I'm sorry. The remains that are being repatriated came from here initially. They were dug up on Highway 10, and they were dug up northeast of Fort Siston at an area called Kettle Lakes. Some of you probably know that area. And then some of the remains came from a plowed field out north of Fort Siston. And they're all Native American remains. There's 10 of them, 10 individuals that we brought back. They were taken, and anytime there's an inadvertent discovery of human remains like that, there's a state law that covers it, and so they call in the state archaeologists. So the state archaeologists come here, and then they take them back to the State Archaeological Research Center in Rapid City. So they've been out in Rapid City for, some of them, the ones from Kettle Lakes have been out there for 10 years. The other one, some of the remains that came out of Highway 10 going west of Red Iron were taken in, I believe it was 1966 when they were fixing that road or building the road. So they've been out there longer. And then the ones from the farmer dug up, those ones probably have been out there, I don't know, maybe 20 years. So it's 3 different times that they were dug up. But they just put them on the shelf and labeled them, Roberts County or Marshall County or whatever. And then they send out the notice to tribes if anyone's interested. But we knew that we were called in on a couple of them, the ones that were taken from the Kettle Lakes. Where a guy was digging up, putting in a fishing lodge or hunting lodge, and he dug into a gravel pit, and he used that fill for that gravel for under his house, the foundation, and to set it up, and that's how the sheriff up there got a hold of our office, and that's how we knew.
Was there a chief actually involved in those remains, or no?
Not in this group, not to our knowledge.
One thing I want to add is that when I did a presentation for the Marshall County Historical Society, and there was a very elderly man that worked with I think like game, fish, and wildlife, and he was in his 80s, and what he said was that he was a little boy when they were making the highway, and what he said that he witnessed as a young boy was that as the road crew, and of course this is before laws, they were digging through burials, they were plowing through burials, and what he said impacted him so much that it set him into a career of wanting to be an archaeologist. He became a geologist. But he said that he saw them taking the human remains, the bones of our relatives, and they were just tossing them aside. And he said that there were Native women at the time that were lined up alongside the road, and they were trying to gather them, crying. They were trying to gather them. And he said that he saw, because this is a point that we try to make often when we talk about this, that the remains are not always in these mounds. Why we call them our relatives is because our understanding is there are modern burials in these mounds. And we know that. And sometimes the archaeological record will show that. Like when they excavated the Palmer Mounds, which is Enemy Swim, or the Doherty Mounds, which is Lake Traverse, they found things like metal buttons, rim glasses, and the sort of rough boxes that constitute a modern burial. So they are not just those ancient mound builder kind of, burials that I think modern anthropology and archaeology tend to believe, or like, most people understand them. And in this instance, what this man told me when he saw the women that were collecting the remains and they were very upset, he said when he looked down and he saw a black satin lined box, which to me again says these are modern, these are our relatives. So, when Councilman from Lake Traverse said that these are, this is a burial, it is a burial for like a funeral, this is very much so that. So thank you for your question on that.
Any other questions? Diane, is there a number or email in case somebody wants to help or donate anything?
Yeah, I mean, you can contact my office, like I said, but there are other, if anyone knows Doc Wana or there's so many members. If Tamara's in, and even Whitney has been inducted into the P'tay Chante. I mean, there are a lot of people that are involved, but we don't get that much involvement. Even though there's a lot of us, it's always kind of a core group that kind of does this, yeah. Especially when it comes to camping out there. But anyway, so you can probably contact my office, Tamara or I, or Whitney, and then we'll make sure the messages get through to the groups, to the P'tay Chante and the Kit Box.
Any other questions or comments? Thank you, appreciate the update.
Hidamaya.
Any other questions or comments?
There will be another mass testing on July 18th with IHS again. So anybody know? Huh? Yep, at IHS again.
Okay, well, that's the end of our agenda. We had nothing. Is there any other closing comments or questions? Okay. Okay, well, we'll conclude, that'll conclude our general council. Oh, I'm sorry, Pikuli.
I just wanted to, because I've been getting a lot of concerns on the difference as to why on and off are getting that different amount.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to just, re-talk about that today. As a council, there was discussions whether this would be something that we would support off reservation if they would even receive any funding. So that was discussed, that they wouldn't get funding or assistance, but we as a council decided that we would try to help as many of our members as possible. We did know for sure that we have up to 1,500 homes on reservation, so that was our starting point. And the reason why there's more on reservation versus off reservation is because the head count on reservation was used, and also the economic difference where there's more economic opportunity off reservation than on. So there's different deciding factors to that. If we were to have given off reservation more, then we would have been able to help less households. So by coming up with that amount, we were able to help up to 5,000 households off. So I just want to make sure that we talk about that, because it sounds like there was an issue yesterday and some misunderstanding. So I'm hoping that answers any of those questions.
Anything else? Okay, that'll conclude the general council session for June 2020. So with that,
Take it out and bring it back again. Yeah, just go.
Thank you.